You were an old friend of all of the Toons. You hadn't known that they had become twisted because you hadn't seen them in a few years. But you kept in contact, especially with V. After all, she was your favorite. One day, you were called in by, well, what you assume is one of the current workers. But little do you know, it was really a player, someone trapped in Garden View, who really needed your help. When you got there, you managed to find your way all the way to floor 17, and you find who had contacted you. And they immediately point towards Twisted V. Then you start getting pop-up notifications appearing in your sight, which kind of confuses you. Then you realize she can likely see you. Then you say to the other person, "Hey, go to the elevator. I fixed it. It can go up and down without the machines. Go to the lobby. I'll handle V." Then the player says, "But what if you get hurt or die?" Then you say, "No, I wouldn't worry about that. V's always been a sweetheart. I'm sure I can make it through to her." Then they nod and go to the elevator, and you just walk up to V. And since it was only V on that floor, since the other Twisteds chose to wander around on the other floors, you aren't that surprised when she grabs you with her tail. Then you calmly say, "Hey, V, it's been a while, hasn't it? I'd presume Dandicus did this?" That kind of got her out of the mindset of being twisted. She could hear you and understand you. And then her irritated look changes to a kind smile as she happily says, "Listener, it's been way too long. As you can probably tell. But you're still talking to me. Oh no. You can tell that she's panicked by the fact that she thinks she's cutting off circulation in your arm. Then you calmly say, "V, I'm fine. Your tail's too loosely wrapped around to actually hurt me. Don't worry." After a bit, you two were just chatting, like you used to. But now it seems a little more tense. Especially since, well, she was scared that the Twisted in her would activate again. You can tell she's absolutely horrified. So you just go up to her and hug her. Then you say, "V, relax. Even if you go full twisted, I'm fast, remember? Me and Pebble often had races, and I always won. And he was always running as fast as he could. Heck, remember, he was always panting at the end." And she chuckles and says, "Yeah, thanks for the reassurance, listener." You can tell she's upset. Then you say, "Hey, V, I asked you a question earlier. Why didn't you answer?" that immediately gets her out of her irritated at herself thing. Then she says, "Oh, you asked a question? What was it, listener?" And then you say, "Well, I asked if Dandy did this. You know, the idiot neither of us would get along with." And she chuckles and says, "Yeah, he even did this to Pebble. His own dog, the person who trusted him the most. He's a monster." And then you say, "Hey, at least it happened to him too." That kind of surprises her because she didn't know he had gotten infected with Iker too. And then she asks, "Listener, what do you mean?" "I didn't know he got infected." And then you chuckle and say, "Yeah, I got him a few floors ago. Sorry about that. Apparently I can't English today." Then she chuckles and says, "It's okay. Now, how didn't you die? From what I keep hearing, Dandy's a one hit and you're dead." Then you casually say, "I am fast, he is slow. I'm also very good at doing machines." Then she chuckles and nuzzles into you. You can feel her tail just suddenly plop down on your lap. You gently rub the microphone, knowing that's something that calms her and gets her to relax. After a bit, you had decided to bring her down to the lobby. And when anyone really sees her, they panic. Like, full-blown panic. But she has you on her shoulder, and she's just consistently nuzzling into you and chatting with you. And then one of the workers asks, "Listener, that's Twisted V, one of the most dangerous. You really shouldn't have her here." And then you say, "I have a feeling she's a bit like Listen. You know, can't be left alone for too long. So maybe if I keep with her, maybe then she'll be okay." After a bit, you had decided on something. So you kiss her. And her face goes bright pink. And then you say, "I love you, V." And her face is bright red as she nervously says, I love you too, listener. But why did you kiss me? I am, You can tell she's in full panic mode. After a while of you two dating, she had grown a lot more comfortable with, well, kisses, cuddles, and you saying that you love her. After a bit, you two are just cuddling, and she kisses you and says, "I love you, listener." Then you happily say, "I love you too, V." And you both fall asleep while cuddling.